Hello and thanks for joining us for the news. I'm Carol Kidu Jr. In this edition, Nomane queries use of police funds, concerns raised about the delay in appointment of National Lands Board, and TIVET school presents laptops to students. The opposition has raised concerns about the safety of citizens as crime numbers soar around the country. Deputy Opposition Leader James Nomane took to the floor yesterday, questioning the police minister on how budgeted funds for the police sector are being used, as there is nothing to show on the ground, despite receiving a bigger chunk of the budget every year.
Deputy Opposition Leader James Nomane asked the police minister to show the outcome of funds his department had received over the years. According to statistics, the 2023 allocation for the police sector was 549 million kina. In 2024, it increased to 629 million kina, an increase of 15%. Total allocation in the 2 years is 1.178 billion kina. For 2025, the budget allocation is 703 million kina, totaling up to 1.8 billion kina for the police department throughout the 3 years.
We haven't seen an improvement in discipline. We haven't seen an improvement in professionalism and standards in the RPNGC. We haven't seen any solutions for police housing, any improvements in police capacity, equipment, and conditions. We haven't seen any solution to the fleet management. We're still hiring. We're still on the hire car basis with all policemen around the country. We are not confident that we will meet the manpower targets of 7,000 by 2026.
Police Minister Peter Siamalili Jr. blamed the declining law and order conditions for years of neglect and pointed out how the current government has prioritized this sector and how provincial and district administration can work with police to address law and order issues.
The culmination of what is happening today is because over a period of time, we have not necessarily, as a government, addressed our policing. And so at this point in time, priority Yumilong increasing manpower, we've been talking about this and we've already started doing so.
Nomane also took to the minister to task over the prolonged use of hire cars, of which the minister provided an update.
Now, challenge Yumi want them hire long vehicles, and you will all experience this. We use as one source of supply, which is Ella Motors, and Ella Motors has a huge challenge with vehicles coming into the country. And so while we have purchased, we're still waiting for vehicles to be in country, and therefore it puts us in a position where you may still hire.
Jasmine Erojak, TVWAN News.
There have been ongoing delays in attending to land matters in the Central Province, and Provincial Member for Central Province Rufina Peter sought answers during question time in Parliament yesterday. She shared that the Central Provincial Land Board members immediately began work since the swearing-in of the board members last year. However, a formal induction is still awaited, including a delay in crucial land matters in the province.
Provincial Member for Central Province Rufina Peter questioned the Prime Minister James Marape in the absence of the Minister for Lands and Physical Planning John Rosso on the appointment of a chairperson and members of the Land Board that is having an adverse effect at the provincial level.
I am aware that the terms of the National Lands Board chairman and its members has expired, creating a significant administrative vacuum that is negatively affecting land administration processes across the country, including the operations of the Central Province Lands Board. Can the Minister inform this Parliament on how soon the Chairman of the Lands Board, National Land Board, will be appointed? What interim measures, if any, have been put in place to ensure that the absence of the National Lands Board does not continue to disrupt land administration processes at the provincial level. Are there future plans for the government to consider amending the law to allow provincial lands boards to function independently in such circumstances?
Minister for Lands and Physical Planning was not available during the Parliament sitting yesterday. However, Prime Minister James Marape assured Peter to take action on this matter.
I'll ask him this important question pertaining to the National Lands Board. I want to give assurance to her through this question that at the very earliest we shall fill the vacancy and get the appointment worked on, and the subsequent work in as far as the provincial land administrations and the provincial land boards can be assisted.
Central Provincial Land Board members were sworn in on the 28th of March 2024. However, due to the delay in the appointment of the National Lands Board members, they have not gone through a formal induction. Provincial member Rufina is hoping this can be sorted out quickly so her provincial land board can get to work and attend to land matters in the province. Jasmine Rojak, TVWAN News.
Bokbilong Pikinini has expressed deep gratitude to Andrew Day, outgoing General Manager of Hastings Deering, PNG and Solomon Islands, for his leadership and commitment to literacy in Papua New Guinea. Hastings Deering has helped distribute over 1 million books to more than 800 schools and communities across the country. Under Andrew Day's leadership, up to 200,000 books have been stored and dispatched each year, ensuring access to quality educational resources. His efforts also saw 10,000 books delivered to remote schools in Telefomin and Tabubil, bridging the literacy gap in rural areas. Communities around the world came together on March 13th to mark World Kidney Day, an annual event dedicated to raising awareness about kidney health and the prevention of kidney diseases. This year's theme, Are Your Kidneys OK? Detect Early, Protect Kidney Health, highlights the importance of early detection and preventative care. In Port Moresby, medical professionals, patients and advocates gathered to promote awareness on kidney health, with free screenings and educational sessions hosted by the PNG Kidney Foundation in collaboration with Port Moresby General Hospital. The event saw healthcare workers emphasize the role of healthy living, hydration and regular checkups in preventing kidney disease. Dr. Anthony Albert, a physician at Port Moresby General Hospital, highlighted the significance of kidney health, urging Papua New Guineans to take proactive steps.
There are three important things that we want to emphasize or bring across for general knowledge and awareness. First one is for us to come out and then make known the importance of the kidney in our body. The second thing is that we are also taking this opportunity to also highlight that in Papua New Guinea we are having increasing number of kidney failures, and those are mainly to do with our lifestyle diseases. Third important awareness message that we want to get across to Papua New Guineans and those who have been afflicted with kidney diseases is that there are treatment options available that can be made to them so that they can come and get a treatment at any of the hospitals in Papua New Guinea. So in Papua New Guinea, the kidney services that are offered, Port Moresby General Hospital and some of the private health facilities.
The rising cases of kidney diseases in Papua New Guinea are attributed to poor lifestyle choices, with doctors urging the public to adopt healthier habits.
The kidney disease affects different age group, from as young as teenagers to older age. Male, female can be affected. So at PNG Kidney Foundation, the youngest patient that we are dialyzing is 17-year-old, and the oldest is about 76 years old. So you can see the huge variation in the age of the patients that are seeking our services. So nobody is immune from kidney diseases. So the message here of importance is to get your kidneys checked. But important thing also is to check, make sure blood pressure is okay. Diabetes screening is undertaken to make sure diabetes is cleared, and other medical conditions that can also contribute to the kidney becoming affected and then ending up with a kidney failure.
As World Kidney Day 2025 concluded, health professionals reiterate their commitment to raising awareness and ensuring that kidney care is accessible to all. The call to action remains clear. Early detection and prevention can save lives. Among stories after the break, Marie Stopes holds reproductive health talks to mark International Women's Day. Stay with us. Welcome back. On International Women's Day last week, partners and stakeholders of Marie Stopes PNG held a panel discussion on enhancing access to sexual and reproductive health and family planning for women and girls. While the discussion centered around the IWD theme, Marie Stopes went a step further to incorporate talks about sexual and reproductive health.
Panelists included Angeline Famudi from Marie Stopes and Dr. Glenn Moller from the UPNG School of Medicine, among others. Concerns were raised about youth's basic knowledge on sex and reproductive health, especially youths between the ages of 10 and 35.
We want to avoid unwanted pregnancies. There's, of course, all sorts of complications that can come with that, and any education and awareness raising that we can do to avoid unwanted pregnancies will be beneficial for the community as a whole.
Deputy Country Rep of UNFPA, Dr. Rena Donna, shared insights from the speech of Executive Director Dr. Natalia Kanem, titled A March Forward to Gender Equality for Everyone.
Investments in the health and rights of women and girls have changed the world, bringing us closer to equal voices and expanded choices than ever before. Women have taken giant strides forward and are not going back. The march forward for equal rights is unstoppable. It will continue until gender equality is achieved for all women and girls.
Angeline Famo, the Country Director for Marie Stopes PNG, expressed concern about lack of or poor accessibility to commodities of sexual reproductive health to those in need.
We have UNFPA here who actually support us through the government of PNG also. And how do you get those access across to the provinces? So that's a really big challenge for us that we're facing in terms of health facilities, in terms of quality of care. I think Lizzie touched on this, in terms of the clinicians and the providers on site also. Are they trained? Are they capacitated enough to be able to provide that access to people? It's a continuous challenge that we are facing, because in terms of access, if these people don't get the access, it changes their lives.
Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
The Port Moresby campus of the Highlands Youth Training and Rehabilitation College yesterday presented laptops to students who had paid 70% of their total tuition fees for the 2025 academic year. The TIVET College took this initiative on board last year and is now into its second year running. It aims to help students have easy access to online learning.
High-Tech, living up to its motto of making nobody to somebody, continues to open its door to those who are left out by the formal education system. This week, out of the 500 students registered for this semester, 110 received laptops. These are mostly self-sponsored students. Most corporate-sponsored students, such as those sponsored by the local MPs and those from resource-owned areas, are not getting computers yet because of payments delay from their benefactors.
Some of our students, they did online training in some of the remote places like in Miniamasiki and all other parts of PNZ. They came for the graduation here in Port Moresby last year. And with the online training, we see that the laptop is another part of a learning aid for our students. So that's why we introduced laptop. And we gave laptop as a pre-package for those students who pay 70%.
Awarding laptop computers is an initiative that this TVET college introduced to its students last year as the college ventured into online learning.
I'm proud to be part of high-tech TVET College, and I thank you, high-tech, for issuing laptop to those of us who have paid 70% upfront fee.
As a student of high-tech, I think some of the technical colleges and some colleges don't have this kind of opportunity to have a laptop, and we have it, and I'm proud of it.
Frida Kana, TV1 News.
Anthony Albanese will join a phone hookup with world leaders to discuss a potential peacekeeping mission to Ukraine. France, Germany, Italy and Canada will also be part of the call arranged by British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The call will take place on Saturday night.
British Prime Minister started building what he's called a coalition of the willing after that Oval Office blow-up between Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky. Its membership has grown beyond just Europeans to now include Canada, Australia and even New Zealand, mainly US allies, just without the US. On tomorrow night's phone hookup, leaders will hear from Ukraine's president. They'll discuss the prospects of a ceasefire and the potential for a multi-nation peacekeeping force. Anthony Albanese is open to sending Australian troops, but it's understood any deployment would only be modest. The risks of putting Australian boots on the ground are clear, particularly if there is no US security guarantee. The opportunity is to align more closely with Europe at a time when there are growing doubts about Donald Trump's reliability. Peter Dutton has supported previous foreign deployments, but not this one. He wants to keep troops at home. And for this, Anthony Albanese is accusing him of walking away from Australia's support for Ukraine. Now, whether Australia does end up deploying forces will depend on a ceasefire being struck and the terms of any such agreement. Right now, this coalition of the willing has momentum behind it and its membership is expanding. Australia's role in it could end up being another key foreign policy difference at the coming election.
More than 50,000 insurance claims have been lodged in the wake of tropical cyclone Alfred across southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales. It's expected to put strain on the construction sector, which is already under pressure, adding delays and a backlog of work. Cyclone Alfred insurance claims. Rachel Stewart reporting.
Spindler and his wife are counting the cost of Cyclone Alfred.
It is a roller coaster. There's a lot more to be done.
The family had a lucky escape after a tree destroyed half their Reedy Creek home last weekend. They're hoping to salvage what they can, but have a long road ahead.
The assessor told us so it's at least 6 months, up to a year or even 2 years until we can come back here and live here.
The family of 4 are in short-term temporary accommodation, but will soon need to find somewhere else to live.
My little one, 4-year-old, is at kindy, and I've got an 8-year-old. He has level 2 ASD and ADHD. He thrives in routine and stability.
About 53,000 insurance claims have been lodged in the wake of Cyclone Alfred.
The claims are quite spread, everything from power outage, so food spoilage, to leaking roofs and water inundation.
It's expected the repair works will put more pressure on the construction sector. The state's peak building body estimates there's already a shortage of 20,000 tradies each year in Queensland.
We've got the Olympics coming a few years down the track, so we're already stretched. This is just going to exacerbate it.
The Insurance Council is trying to entice tradies from interstate and New Zealand to help with the rebuild in southeast Queensland, putting a call out for electricians, plasterers, builders and roofers.
But for others, the clean-up is almost over. Just under 14,000 homes remain without power. down from more than 300,000 at the peak of the weather event. A flood-affected school on the Gold Coast will fully reopen on Monday. In Hervey Bay, the SES are wrapping up after responding to 400 call-outs.
It's been pretty intense. The rain bomb came in, was not super forecasted for that event to hit here.
Life slowly getting back to normal.
That ends the news segment. Join me for your sports news after the break. Thanks for staying with us. The General Manager for Pathways and Performance at the PNG Rugby Football League, Tony Archer, said the appointment of Stanley Genne to the role will help the game and the Rugby League Academy program in the country. Having been a young man making it through the ranks to represent PNG in the Super League, Genne has a wealth of experience as a player and coach. Archer said Genne's involvement in the game will motivate young academy players.
He'll create across PNG a coaching academy, a talent identification group of coaches to come in and fill and support the system as we grow in numbers of teams and numbers of competitions. So two-pronged approach from him and a really important part of the pathway and performance team as we build it out over the next few years. So having people who have had experience at in his case at Super League, not only as a player, but most importantly in academy programs in England, as coaching the elite level competitions and players in the Super League, plays a really important part how we professionalise and grow the capacity of our clubs. So he'll play a really crucial role in our growth over the next couple of years.
Exciting news for the sporting community. Nominations for the 2025 SB Sports Awards are officially open. The prestigious awards were launched in Port Moresby, marking the 33rd edition of this annual celebration of excellence in sports. This year's theme, Legends of Sports, 50 Years of Excellence and Inspiration, aligns with Papua New Guinea's 50th anniversary, honouring the journey of our sporting greats who have inspired generations and put PNG on the global stage. The awards will recognise outstanding athletes for their achievements in both international and domestic competitions throughout 2024 and celebrate individuals making a difference in their communities through sports. With 13 award categories, including Male and Female Athlete of the Year, Team of the Year, Para-Athlete of the Year, and the People's Choice Award, the stage is set for an incredible celebration of PNG sports. The Sydney Roosters shocked the four-time reigning Premier Penrith Panthers in a thrilling 38-32 upset at Combank Stadium on last night. The thrilling encounter went down to the wire and Trent Robinson's men came out on top, registering their first win of the 2025 season.
Biggest defeat to Brisbane Broncos last weekend, the Sydney Roosters bounced back in style, defeating the four-time premiers Penrith Panthers. The Panthers hit first with a try to centre Paul Alamotti to put the reigning champions in front early in the game, but the Roosters found a way to return the try through Mark Nawakinatawase to level up the scoreboard.
Set. Toy the man that plays it. Townsend to Smith. Smith to Crichton. Typical offload Crichton. Now Nawakinatawase is over and the Roosters hit straight back.
Connor Watson put the Roosters in front for the first time with a try of his own, which gave Trent Robinson's men enough confidence to keep the lead and give a good contest in every play against the defending champions. A try each to Brian To'o, Daniel Tupou and Liam Henry saw them finish the first 40 minutes of the game 18-all and promised to deliver a high-quality football in the second half.
Slow play the ball, last tackle. Edwards. Cole, 2-on-2, To'o the grubber. Oh, and the recovery. Has he scored? Brian To'o.
The team lived up to their expectations and delivered an exciting second-half performance. Both teams traded try for try, but the Roosters wanted the win more and came up with the first win of the competition, 38 points to 32.
An extraordinary finish to an extraordinary game. He's lost it.
Daniel Tupou. Brian loses possession of the ball, but then strikes the corner post, which is touching goal.
It is one of Trent Robinson's greatest victories.
It was a massive effort from the Roosters to come up with the win despite missing their main playmaker, Sam Walker. For the Panthers, their loss came with a major injury scare as their star fullback Dylan Edwards limping off with injury. The NRL Round 2 games continue this weekend and is being relayed live on the TV1 Sports channels. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
That ends the sports news. Now for the weather forecast. Southern region, Port Moresby and Kerma, cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Popondetta Alotau, some showers at times with possible thunderstorms. Umase, Ley, mostly cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Kokopo and Rabaul, partly cloudy with showers. Highlands, all Highlands centres, cloudy periods with rain, then rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. Tomorrow's bulletin will be at 7:15 p.m. due to the live broadcast of the NRL Games. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.